Now, as a writer, Murray composed nonfiction, fiction, and poetry. Joining us next to share some rare Murray poetry is scholar Paul Devlin, an expert on the work of Murray and his friend Ralph Ellison. In fact, in November, Cambridge University Press will publish Ralph Ellison in Context, edited by Professor Devlin. What can you tell us about what we're going to hear?
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to read from some of Murray's posthumously published poems. These are poems that were published in 2018. I had a role in getting these poems into print, which I will discuss after I read them. And incidentally, my name is Paul Devlin, Associate Professor of English at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy and Book Review Editor of African American Review. So 4 of these 5 poems are untitled, so I will just make a pause in between reading them. While some, circa 1940 through 45, took actual flight training ranging from Piper Cub solos through BT-11s, AT-6s, P-40s to F-51s, Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker developed make-believe bird wings. And when jets and space missiles eventually arrived, we were ready for them. It was only a matter of segue. The magic keys. Some sharp, some flat, some natural. The readiness is all. Some golden, some silver, some platinum. Some of some as yet undisclosed alloy. There were 50 roads to town, which was 7 blue miles away. 7 or 7 times 7 plus 1 mile creek. 70 times 7 plus the 7 seas. What can I do and not do about the cosmic implications of the ancient Roman still life exhibition at Vesuvius? You can proceed as if it all mattered, but so much for the 7 cardinal sins, so much for crime and punishment. When tomorrow becomes today, and also what is left of yesterday, we say now, which is the ongoing in which we live, and without which there is no past and no future. So those are my selections from Mr. Murray's posthumously published poetry. Moselle Murray died in 2015, 2 years after Al. Shortly thereafter, I was asked to supervise the cataloging of Murray's library, music collection, and archive in an effort to secure the transfer of his books, papers, and artifacts to institutional homes, mainly to Harvard for books and papers, and to Tuskegee for books and artifacts, while Indiana University also has a few books. Simultaneously, I was working as co-editor of the Library of America volumes of Murray's work and writing the chronology, note on the text, and notes found in those volumes. In the process, I discovered a bunch of poems scattered across notebooks and on loose paper. We know from South to a Very Old Place that Murray was writing poetry since at least the 1960s, and there is suggestive evidence that he was writing poetry in the 1950s. Like his early one-act plays from the 1930s and much of his early fiction, no copies survive. I think these posthumously published poems are among his most sparely elegant and coolly philosophical. I am so glad that he preserved them for us. Should anyone wish to read the poems Murray published in his lifetime, they are in the volume titled Conjugations and Reiterations, published in 2001, and also included in the Library of America edition, Albert Murray Collected Novels and Poems. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paul. And Paul, thank you for doing you, which includes, finding these poems and bringing them to our attention. And I'm going to always feel gratitude, Paul, because you introduced me to Mr. Murray, and you also introduced me to Mr. Greg Thomas, and you do Paul Devlin. So just, great luck with your upcoming book, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Devlin. Thank you.